Hello, my name is Zed, and today I'm talking about who I am. I feel it's only fair to give at least an idea of who I am, because realistically, to explain fully who I am would take way longer than either one of us is willing to put into this. So, this is quickly a summary of who I am. Born in California, born as a male. I was cesarean, the first of. I have 5 siblings, and then the second to youngest. And I was the first cesarean. My younger sibling also was a cesarean. Kind of screwed my mom from the very beginning. Hard-headed. Not a big fan of authority. And not to say that I'm just a fan of questioning authority. No, I grew up in a very strong family where Roman Catholic, Swiss Italian, and all sorts of European mud. But generally we identify as Swiss Italian. So you can have your own opinion within my family. That's perfectly fine. But just know that as soon as you present that opinion to anybody in my family, it's going to get sandblasted with outside opinion. Basically, everybody's going to start launching in on you. And that sounds like it would be atrocious. And sometimes it could feel that way too. But generally speaking, it was one of those proving times where if this was something that truly was who you were going to hold on to that tight and eventually be like, no, fuck you. This is who I am. Deal with it or don't. And then everybody backs off. Or they make you feel goofy about the decision you did to, pierce whatever part of your body or whatever. And then, eventually you're like, oh yeah, well, I guess I'm really not that into it if I'm like, well, I'm ashamed or whatever's going on. So the point is that you don't get to pretend to be something that you're not. So when I say that I have a problem with authority, I don't have a problem with people who are there to do what they're supposed to do. So if you're a teacher and you're teaching a subject and you are teaching that subject, no foul on you. Being respectful to students, cool. Being the person that helps to guide people that don't understand what it is that you understand, way to go. Fucking you rock. But if you're the teacher that is commanding respect, saying you better respect me because I'm in this position, and you don't give any reason why anybody should respect you because you don't give anybody else any respect, no, fuck you. Quite simply, just fuck you. I don't agree that you believe that this is your world. This is not your world. This is our world. We share it. The idea is that we're supposed to be respectful to one another. Doesn't mean we always have to get along. Doesn't mean there's not going to be any fights. Doesn't mean there's not going to be any wars. But the idea is that you're supposed to be respectful. In the time of war, you're still supposed to be respectful. Yes, you have a mission to beat the other guys, so on and so forth, but it doesn't mean that you have to become garbage in the process. But some people don't understand that. Some people believe that a position gives them some authority. So, no. I don't respect the position. I respect the person who deserves respect. Easy peasy. Well, then you don't respect politicians. No, not most of them. Then you probably don't respect police. No, not any cop that's going to be the because I say so. The cop that goes out there and puts their life on the line to protect the society that they are a part of, that does everything they can to be respectful to the people that they are sworn and serving. Yep. Absolutely. You deserve a raise. You deserve to have the good protection that someone who's in that position should receive. But that's not all our police officers. That's not all our politicians. There's a whole bunch of people that are more than happy to say, well, I have the power, motherfucker. Do as I say, or else. Why? Because I fucking said so. Oh, yeah. Oh, you get my respect. My ass. But I recognize this from very young. So even going through school, I had teachers that loved me. or they hated me. There really wasn't too much in between. I think the closest to in between are the teachers that loved me that I would end up, being a jackass. So then it's like, here's this ball of potential. Always got this in teacher parent conferences. He's so capable, so smart. He could be the best if only, and then whatever their thing is. If he just would focus, if he would just pay attention, if he'd stop messing around. Okay. So kind of a jackass altogether. I consider myself a bit of a dick. I call myself asshole on almost every single video game that I sign up for because that's when I'm like, oh yeah, we're supposed to put in a name. Player 1. Asshole. Yep. Sometimes it's childish. I'll even do like an asshole 69. But yeah. Otherwise, I think I'm a bit of a contradiction. I'm a person who was raised to be religious, but wasn't really religious. And then I kind of fell out of religion, and now I find myself to be more religious, but not to an organized religion. Again, it's weird. We'll get into it, obviously. I'm not just going to leave you high and dry. For this video, I am, though. A person who originally, when I built myself up, like as a kid, again, I had family. Family was my base structure. That was my solid core. That was my foundation. Everything else was going to be built on top of that. But I knew who I was because I knew who my family was. I was a patriot, loved America. I'm a student. I want to get shit done. I'm a person who wants to help. Love to help. So, going through high school, doing pretty well for myself. A reoccurring theme happened where the finish line came. Graduation, right there on the horizon. All you got to do is just keep going forward. You might even graduate with a fairly decent GPA, setting yourself up for success. Because you've been slacking off, you found weed. You've been slacking off. But no. I don't even think I went to school the day of my final for like AP English or Honors English. I don't remember which. And it wasn't that I couldn't do it. I didn't for some reason. I don't know. I don't know if it was a call for attention. I don't know what it... Just a stupid decision. A stupid kid doing dumb shit. Absolutely. Tripped at the finish line. So I didn't get to walk across the field with my class. I didn't get to experience what, a lot of us do experience. So I don't even consider myself like a lot of people look back at high school as a great time. And I had a great time because there were good people that I was with. But, yeah. I mean, it was high school. It sucked. It was stressful. So much work to do. So much homework. So much trying to be honest with my parents. Because I used to lie a lot. But then I realized that lying just didn't really get me anywhere. And I think the lie that stands out the most in my mind is that I had a parent who worked for I had one parent. A single household, single parent household, my mom. And, she worked for the telephone company. And, I had done something really stupid on the phone and I had called someone or done something wrong. And, I got called out for it. And the excuse that I came up with was something along the lines of I'm star 69 them or they star 69 us or something where, star 69 was involved. But because my mom happened to work for the phone company, she was the one who signed us up for the phone service and apparently, call back or whatever the star 69 was, a service that you had to sign up for. So she was very well aware that whatever I was telling her was complete bullshit. And then she did the very parent thing of doing that are you sure? All right, it's your last chance. Are you sure? Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm totally sure. That's totally what happened. And then it was, oh, okay. Cool. Go to your room. Take off your pants. I'll be there in just a moment. And then you hear that that certain drawer that happens to hold that leather belt. And then, I was the kid that tried to put stuff in my pants, extra pair of underwear. That didn't work. Because then, your parent would pull down everything and just like wooden spoons broken across hands and butts. Man. But because I did have so many siblings, I don't know if I said it yet, but I have 4 siblings. So I am a child of, I have 5. My mom has 5 kids. Fuck, man, I don't know why that was so difficult. But I'm second to youngest. But because I had a single parent household, my mom was a big fan of the because I say so. So why are we doing this? Why do I have to? Because I said so. Because I said so. Go do it. Because I said so. I hated it. I mean, I still hate it. And hate is a word that I do not use. And when I say hate, I mean I want to take that thing and I want to put it out in the middle of the field and I want to do all sorts of just horrible shit to it and just watch it die with that creepy, like, happiness in my eyes. Just like, yeah, burn. Burn because I say so. So, I hate it. To me, it is the most disrespectful thing that one person can do to another person. It's saying that I am in a position where I have the understanding. Not only do I have the understanding, but I have the control. Go do this thing. And I recognize that there are a time and a place for asking why. So in an emergency situation, shut the fuck up. This is not the time. Do as I say. Let's go. I'll explain it to you later. But that's not what because I say so is. Because I say so is bro, you're not worth it. I may or may not have the explanation. I'm not going to give it to you because I don't feel as though you're worth it. So even if I do have it and it's as simple as giving you a one-word sentence, no. Or, in the unlikely chance that you don't know, I'm not going to take the time to go figure out that answer. Just no. So, it is one thing that I promised myself I would not say to my kids. It was the one aspect of my childhood that I was like, nope, that will not be something that continues past me. Well, I guess that's not true. My kids could decide to be like, yeah, no, fuck that, because I say so. Nah. But yeah, it's uncomfortable. It sucks sometimes. But we're all curious. And the idea that, like, we want to crush that curiosity of, just asking why. Why does that happen that way? Oh, shit. It's amazing. This is why it happens that way. And my kids hate it. They get so bored. Oh, shut up. I was just asking a stupid question. Yeah, whatever, bro. You open that door of curiosity and I'm going to fucking fill it up as much as I can. When they get a little older, they start to appreciate it a little more. Suddenly they're like, oh shit, I understand a little bit more about the world than my friends do. And like, I didn't recognize what that meant. But now I do, so there's an appreciation that comes with that. Because in my opinion, that's the whole point. It's progress, it's growth, it's development. All the same thing to say that tomorrow we should be better than we are today. That when we were children, if we were cool with staying the same, we would still be, babbling, incoherent, unable to take care of ourselves, pooping and eating machines. A little bit of sleep, a lot of bit of sleep. Which sounds amazing, by the way. But we're not. We progress. Each day we learn a little bit more about who we are. We learn a little bit more about the world that's around us. And humanity has done the same thing. Each generation learns a little bit more, and they pass it down to that next generation, who's better off because of it, who then learns a little more and passes it down to that next generation, who learns a little bit more and passes it and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It's amazing. It's a beautiful process. And it doesn't just exist with us here with humanity. That's what the animals are doing. That's why they're able to survive in this world. Because their parents who have humans that are fucking all sorts of things up for them are like, well, no, we had to learn on the go. We don't get to go where we used to go, where we've gone for generations to get water or food. We had to find something else. But now I know where the available food is where we're not going to get shot by humans. So, come with me, children. I will show you where that is. Oh, look, now you know you can teach your kids. Or if it moves again, then it will be your responsibility to find where food is. Find better food. Find a way to make your life easier as an animal. Yep, but also with humans. Which I guess leads into why I'm so adamantly anti-organized religion. And not anti-organized religion, that's a bad way to say it. I'm anti the story of Genesis and everything that it has inspired. Because Genesis was a story that was put in place, in my personal opinion, by people that were trying to halt growth, development, and progress, not just of us as individuals, but as us as a species, us as a world. They, in my opinion, somebody created a new story, a new origin story that took away all of our prior understanding of this world, of how things are neatly pulling together, that it is all this amazing mix that seems like it should be controlled by this super powerful supernatural force. And it is. But somebody decided to say that they knew exactly what that force was. They knew who it was, what we were supposed to do to show them any kind of respect, how we were supposed to conduct ourselves in life, and gave us the whole rundown. Basically saying you don't need to look for answers anymore. This one story tells you everything you need to know. And off of that story, three main religions in this world were created, the Abrahamic religions. And they've been saying the exact same thing for the last 2 to 3 to however many thousand years they want to say that it's been. So, sure, if the true story of Genesis was created 99.9 billion years ago, sure, okay. But it wasn't. It's a story that came into existence, as far as we can tell, thousands of years ago. Thousands of years ago. Before we had cars, before we had housing that would be able to protect us against the elements, as our housing does now. However that would be said correctly. You get my point. But we didn't need to learn anything 1,000 years ago. That was it. That was all the understanding we need. So we can go back to the time of, drinking lead poisoned water out of lead leaching whatever, out of clay pots and cups and jugs. Go back to being under some despotic ruler who's going to manipulate everything and sell us off as slaves, put us in a coliseum to fight one another. Because, it's not anything like what we have now. That got weird. Yep. Absolutely. In my opinion, it was a story that told you to stop. That you don't need any more. Matter of fact, you don't deserve any more. Because if you get any more, that's just going to be temptation, baby. You have to go through this world with as little as possible. Why? Well, because there might be a world beyond this that you'd be able to enjoy. But you got to get your ticket. Unfortunately, it's not cheap. It's going to take you doing a whole bunch of proving. So, you want to go out there and get a job? Okay, we'll get a job. Give us a little bit of that money. And that's just now. Back in the olden days, with them kings and queens who apparently claim to be the direct representation of God on earth, the God of Genesis, Well, they owned the land. It was theirs. So yeah, you would go and work, but it wasn't for pay. You would go because if you didn't, you would get beaten. You would get stabbed. You would get murdered. You would be pulled into the town square and made an example of. But what do you get for all your hard work? Well, you might get enough to eat. That's only if you do all that the ruler or their representatives told you to do. So yeah, did you harvest the 7 fields that you were supposed to harvest today, even though there's only enough light in the day for you to harvest 4? No, you didn't? Well, I guess you're going to have, we're going to have to take some of your rations. Because frankly, you weren't working with the spirit of the Lord. But, yeah. I believe in us. I believe we have the answers. That we misrepresent the world that's around us. I believe that when we link back to like our founding fathers of the United States, people tend to imagine them as being this uber brilliant, individual. And yes, we should see them as somebody who was intelligent for their time frame, which isn't a knock. It's to say that if you were to bring the smartest person from the 1700s to today, I mean, they wouldn't be very smart. They'd be like Ron DeSantis. It's a low blow. I get you. Man. Some people that are just acting against their own personal interests. Well, I guess not, if it's financial. Maybe I won't say that. I'll just say the governor of a certain phallic-shaped state that starts with an F and ends with a Florida. But yeah, we think of them as being these very, very hyper-intelligent human beings. And again, I don't want to take away from them being intelligent. Apparently, Ben Franklin was even a bit of a pimp, and that's kind of awesome. But at the same time, fuck those guys. They were old and dumb. They were racist as shit. They were people that were wealthy people that had recognized that they were being taken advantage of by a king and a queen. Well, a king. So they're like, no, fuck that. We're going to set up this land so that we can have our own ability to take advantage of some shit. But we get to be the kings here. Which sucked. It sucked for a lot of people. But because they did start this land without having some king or queen that was associated to some god, because they gave us the freedom to choose. Their narrow definition of citizen saying, no, just us, the very powerful people already. We just want to be in charge. But we're manipulative and greedy, so we don't want any of our other fellow fuckboys to basically be able to get an upper hand on any of us. So we're going to set up this representative government. Well, slowly but surely, these greedy, manipulative fucks were starting to try and get the upper hand on one another. So then they're like, well, we're going to expand what a voting right is. Who else can we include in the word citizen to make it so that I can make it my way goes, because those greedy fucks are trying to get their way. So what can I do to tip the scales in my favor? I'm going to broaden it. Slowly but surely. Until it included all of us who were above 18 and without the, conviction on our record. Which I also believe is bullshit. The idea is that jail is supposed to be your time of paying your severance. That you're supposed to get back into society after you're done. Part of being in society is having the ability to vote. So, I get it. Prisons suck. We created a place that is so terrifying that when you go there, you are instantly segregated into race. Because that was the place we wanted people to learn how to reintegrate into society? Huh. Is society like that? I mean, it's getting there now. Shit. So, maybe. Hmm. I always thought it was going to be the other way. That, like, prison was supposed to be more like society, where you would recognize that we're all on the same team and working together to the same goal. But, yeah. I guess if we have a rehabilitation system that doesn't do any rehabilitating, because that's not what it's there for. Again, it's there for money. So, you go away and now you get to be on the closest to slave labor that's legally allowed. Well, looks like I have to fill this place up because I got a factory that needs to be churning. This was all supposed to be about who I was. Fuck. Man, you are a preachy son of a bitch. Well, there you go. I guess I'm a preachy son of a bitch. I'm somebody who gets distracted. But it's not distracted because they're not linked. Everything that I'm talking about all ties back into the same thing. The original story of some asshole saying because I say so. And it's just spread. And a lot of us, because there's so many believers now, just give it the benefit of the doubt and say, no, there's the reason that so many people believe in this story is because it's clearly true. It has to be fact. Even though when we go to history, we learn that the natives were forced into believing. The old people back in Europe, the people who were brought over from Africa, the people who were in South America, the people who were anywhere that some greedy, manipulative asshole went, said, oop, this is mine. First thing I need to do is tell you about this story. Once I have that stuck inside your head, well, then you become somebody that is pliable enough for me to manipulate. Because that is the mentality that I need you to have so that I can get what I need out of you. There is a plan. There is a master on top. I'm his direct representative. So, you talk shit to me, you're talking shit to the big guy. You don't want to see my boss, because, you know, if my boss comes around here, it's going to be real bad for you. You know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what accent that was. It was pretty ridiculous. But that's the point. So, yes, there is a lot of good things that come with faith. This has nothing to do with who I am. Man, again, rambling. But the good parts come from us. It's not from the top. And it's time that we see that. So, when we lose faith, we don't lose the best parts because we don't lose each other. We are the best part. But we do lose the manipulative assholes that take all the best part that is us and use it for nefarious purposes. Or just extract resources out of it. Take your good deed and make it their own. That way, when there's some child abuse case later on where, you know, somebody at the top decided, hey, I am greedy and manipulative, and there's nothing that I shouldn't be able to get away with. They're going to use your charity to say, hey, we're not all bad. This organization's good. We do good in the world. No. The people do good in the world. You guys don't do shit. So, who am I? I'm just a guy. Someone who's trying to talk to you. Someone who thinks that we can do better. That tomorrow can be better than today. That we can be better tomorrow than we are today. So, hoping to get that whole process started, I guess. I'm Zed. This is who I am.